This is episode number 495 of the Health and Fitness Podcast by InnerFight in association with Smith Street Paleo. Be sure to hop over to smithstreetpaleo.com, check out all the good healthy food, paleo style, and get involved. So guys, if you're looking still for a big goal for 2019, then I might have something for you here. We've teamed up with Ultra X to give you a special rate on the races that these guys are organizing this year. They organize 250k 5-day races. It's a race series which are held in exotic and inspiring locations around the world, and they actually culminate with a biannual World Championships. It's super awesome, and I can vouch for this, that taking on a multi-day ultra in a far-flung corner of the earth is probably one of the greatest experiences that you can have. And now that Ultra X are making these experiences more accessible for all, it's definitely something that you should be considering for 2019. In this year, they have races in Sri Lanka, Jordan, Mexico, and they'll be adding 2 races to the series each year, with Bolivia and the Azores getting released in the summer of 2019. So if that really does sound like something that you are interested in, we have a discount code which will get you £200 off the races. You can hop over, have a look, ultra-x.co. The Sri Lanka race is the first race, which is on the 13th of April. You get £200 off using our code INNERFSL19. Go and check it out. Get involved. I'm looking forward to racing some of their races this year, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys there. Welcome back to another edition of the podcast, another edition of the weekly update show, folks. I hope you have all had a fantastic week gone by. I wished you all the very best at the end of last week's show, so I hope that you had a great week, and also hope that you had a great weekend. It was an absolutely banging weekend down at the Dubai Marathon. We're going to talk all about that in this show, as well as what happened last week, and a big look forward to what is coming up in the coming week, what you should be looking out for, what you should be thinking about, and who you should be following. But as we said, and we've been saying over on social media, we are nearing in on 500 shows. This is huge for us. We started this podcast, 495 shows ago, just to try and share knowledge with people, and also to try and talk to people. I figured it would be quite a good way to get to know people, to get more information on what people are doing and learn. And here we are, 495th show, nearing in, closing in fast to a week, it happens, on 500 shows. We put out a poll this week and asked you guys who you want us to interview for the 500th show. And we've had some pretty interesting responses. We had David Goggins. He seems pretty hot at the moment, and if you haven't read his book, Can't Hurt Me, I strongly suggest that you go and get a copy of that. It is a great book. I'm not sure how easy it is to get hold of, but I've sent a request out to him. Let's see what comes back on that. Someone said Richard Branson, which I think, honestly, I love sport, but if you said to me, you can get me anyone to interview, I would interview Richard Branson. He would be my best. Actually, I was in a podcast just recently this week. Well, went live this week, the Mind Muscle Project. And one of the questions that those guys had at the end was, if you could sit down and chat to anyone, who would it be? And I said for that, Richard Branson, which they had never had that said before. I think that show is a lot about fitness. All the people that are mainly into fitness listen to their show, and they hadn't had that said before. But I would definitely sit down with Richard Branson. Someone thinks I should get him on my show for the 500th show. If you can do that, then please let me know. Just send him an email, copy me in, and I'll take it from there. That's how it goes, just messing around. What else have we had? We've had a few. I think someone said Matt Fraser. A couple of people said Matt Fraser. And a few people, and this is actually where it might end up, or where we think we're heading. Those of you that have been listening to the show for quite a long time now will know that we used to do a weekly coaches show. We just used to sit down, actually did it for 18 months, almost 2 years. We would just sit down with the coaches, talk about what's gone on in the week gone by. So those hardcore listeners out there would remember that show. And a few of you want to hear that style of show. So just sit down around the table, get all the coaches in, a few questions here and there. So that also might be something that we might do, or it's looking likely. But if you do have ideas for the 500th InnerFight Health and Fitness Podcast, please do let us know. It is a massively busy month, Jan. Last week was nothing but the same. Plenty of good stuff going on. The classes last week, we kicked off our little run into the Open, 18.1 on Sunday. That was a flavor for the Open. It was last year's first workout. What will be this year's first workout in the Open? I have absolutely no idea. I'm not even going to speculate. But what I want to ask you guys is, are you registered for the Open, for the 2019 Open? Kicks off now in 1 month's time. We're going to do it down here at InnerFight every Saturday morning. Everyone's going to be down. Massive atmosphere. You just need to go to games.crossfit.com and register over there. And if you're doing it, if you're listening from overseas, you're thinking about doing the workouts or even just registering for the Open, I really, really encourage you to do so because it's a great few weeks. So we gave a taster for that in Sunday's class, and then a couple of workouts on Thursday, those back-to-back 7 minutes on, 3 minutes off. We spoke about it in last week's show. That was the two favorite workouts from what I can see in the week gone by. Other stuff that's happened in the week gone by, those of you following the InnerFight social media and my Instagram, MJD_Smith, you will see, and also Big Rossi, you will see his progress. I've been working with Big Rossi now from Virgin for about the last 10 days now. We're 10 days in, trying to get him to lose a few kilos, and he dropped them off in the first week of that. Actually lost almost 4 kilos of fat in that. Really, really nice guy to do some work with. So please do hop over to his Instagram, give him a big shout out. He's doing super well. And as all of you guys know that are on a fitness journey, it is that support at the start that really does help. And I think that's what we're quite good at doing down here at InnerFight. We're quite good at helping people in the early stages, making it feel all right if you can't do everything like all the pros or people that think they're pros that have been there a while. But just get down, get moving, get involved. We've also got him on a Smith Street Paleo meal plan. Double plug there. It's working as well. If you're not on one, if it's working for Big Rossi, you might want to get on one. If something that you're doing might not be working, just putting it out there. Have a think about it. But please follow Big Rossi. He loves to hear from people. Send him a message. DM him on Instagram. He normally replies. And if not, I know he definitely reads them. So that was pretty cool stuff from last week. What's been massive this weekend has been the 2019 Standard Chartered Dubai Marathon and the 10K and the 4K fun run. It happened on Friday, and for anyone that was down there, I'm sure you just loved the atmosphere. It was absolutely epic. I was down there from about 6 o'clock in the morning, and people, bands, the Ethiopians were down there really flying the flag for their top runners. The fastest male crossed in about 2 hours, 4 minutes. So fast time, not one of the fastest. We've seen Kipchoge just go just over 2 hours in Berlin last year. So we didn't get a record, but we did get a blistering fast time, 2:04. It's not quite a course record either, but nonetheless, it was an amazing atmosphere down there for the elite. What's more important to us, though, and where we had a lot of our runners, is in the 42.2 for the masses, the marathon for the masses, which kicked off at 7 a.m. And also a little bit later in the day at 8:30 a.m. when we saw the 10K kick off. Absolutely awesome to see so many InnerFight Endurance, InnerFight staff down there. I've tried to count them up, and I think we're almost at 50 people flying the brand flag down there over the weekend or on the Friday. Absolutely awesome. And some monumental efforts. Our in-house photographer, Munim, he completed his second marathon in around 6 hours. So he did it hard out there for a long time, but got the job done. And a blisteringly fast time from our endurance coach, Tom Walker, 2 hours 52. I can't go through them all because that would be a whole other show, which we might do. But there were PRs dropping left, right, and center. Coaches were out there, clients were out there, everyone was out there, and it was absolutely epic. And it should give you guys some inspiration for next year or for later in this year. I know Arij was down there. She did a marathon in Beirut earlier in the year, at the end of last year, and she has another marathon coming up, and she was just soaking up the atmosphere along with her sister, who will race in Dubai at Ironman 70.3 this coming weekend. So definitely another great race to get down to, and awesome atmosphere. Talk a little bit about that later in the show. But Dubai Marathon, the 10K, the 4K, very, very successful this last weekend, and I hope that the people that ran for the first time are a little bit inspired. to use their fitness. Ben Davies demonstrated how he's using his fitness and what he's doing to go out, and he ran a 3:42 marathon, which is a very, very respectable time. How do you recover from the marathon? A lot of people have been asking me. My protocol when I was doing my 30 marathons: get home, eat well, omelette, Smith Street Paleo waffles. I'd then jump in a bath of Epsom salts, magnesium for about 40 minutes, making sure I'm drinking all the time. From finishing, immediately on finishing my run, I did 3 750 ml bottles of Volvic. I would then do another 1.5 liters from getting home to getting out of the bath about lunchtime. I think that really was the key. If you haven't followed that and you went out and just had burgers and beers on Friday, you might be feeling a little bit stiff now. How do you get back into moving? Just get some movement done, walk around, have a stretch out, maybe a little bit of flow movements. If you watch my marathon series last week over my Instagram TV, you'll know that I've been pushing that. It's a 5-minute video that I've done, which is on my Instagram TV, daily flow movement. That will really help you sort of boost your recovery up and get back in action. You probably should take 1 to 2 days off. If you did the 42.2, let the body recover. Some of you that have been training for a long time for it, definitely a week off, and just let the body recover so that it can go through its natural healing process. And in that time, just like in the lead up to the marathon, you need to be eating good food. I'm all good if you had a cheat meal on Friday, but please dial it back in. A lot of people, there's a temptation. They finish the marathon and they don't really have a goal, and that's when the food starts to slip away. Don't let that be you. Well done for doing what you did. Keep your food tuned in, and then maybe start talking to your coach or talking to yourself or your spouse about what is next, because it's always good to have that goal that you're working towards. With Project DXB, we took 12 people towards a goal, and I know a lot of those guys are also looking for the next step now. So don't rush it, but definitely make sure you get something in. And if you miss the marathon this year, that as an event is becoming one of Dubai's most spectacular events for getting involved in. You can be out on the course, you can be intimate, close to the runners, friends, and it's just an awesome atmosphere. This coming week, we got some really cool classes. On Sunday is going to be mayhem again. Yes, we're continuing with a theme where Sunday is a brutal day down at the gym. Get involved from 5:30 in the morning all the way to 6:30 in the evening. 7 classes there, so no opportunity to skip out. For those of you that are looking to get your legs moving, there's a lot of squats on Monday. Don't forget that the gymnastics class is running at the same time. And this is backed by popular demand. We've chucked a partner workout in on Wednesday, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's a partner chipper, so a load of reps to knock off before we move into Thursday therapy. Always an absolute belter. You've got 3... Should I give it away? I should, maybe. It's a benefit for you guys that listen to the podcast. 3 10-minute workouts with a 4-minute rest in between. That's all I'm giving you. That's the format for this coming Thursday. See, there's a lot of benefit to listening to this podcast, aside from having to listen to my voice, obviously, but information and also an insight to what's coming into the class. For those of you that are following it, Sanctionals, Andre leaves this week. His competition is next weekend, Fittest in Cape Town, sanctioned event. So we just really hope that he has a fantastic time. Absolutely no weakness from him so far in his training. It looks super cool. He looks in good shape, and it looks like a super cool event that's going to happen down there in Cape Town. I'm sure you can follow it the normal ways. They'll probably be quite active through their Instagram and also Facebook, and maybe some updates, live leaderboard over on Fittest in Cape Town website. So follow Andre, and thank you in advance for any support that you show to him. A couple of other events coming up this weekend. As I said, it's the Dubai 70.3, the half Ironman here in Dubai. This is, even if you're not really that interested in endurance sport, triathlon's not really your thing, get down to Kite Beach or the beach just by Jumeirah Beach Hotel, surf cafe there. Go in and get yourself a coffee and a Asahi bowl. Walk down and just soak up the atmosphere. As far as events goes, it's super awesome. These guys are swimming, then on the bikes, 90K on the bikes, and then coming in and running a half marathon all along the beach track. So it's really spectator friendly, and it is just a great atmosphere down there. One of the greatest things about the sport of triathlon, especially in this event, you can do it. You can see the names of all the competitors on their bib, so you can just shout out their names and really encourage them. It really does help them. So if you're at a loose end this coming Friday, once that's finished, you can hop out to Al Qudra, where it's the big backyard ultra. Hopefully I'll be running in that. My health is causing me a couple of issues at the moment, a couple of little niggles that I'm trying to get rid of, but hopefully I'll be running in the big backyard ultra, which starts at 6 a.m. on Friday, and it's the race that I've spoken a little bit about on my social media, where you go 6.7k per hour until you can't go anymore. Then you drop out and you're a loser. You DNF the race until someone, yes, it's brutal, until someone is the last man standing and they do one loop on their own. 6.7k. It could go for 2 days, could go into the third day. The record is 68 hours, and actually the guy that has the record is Johan Stein, a friend of mine, and he is the next podcast that comes out this Thursday, podcast 496. So if you're at a loose end, come out to Al Qudra. It's all around the lake, so you can have a picnic. You can enjoy. Hopefully we'll be out there running. Rob Jones from our endurance team as well. He is involved in this. He can't wait to do it. It's going to be a cracking day, but there's definitely lots of sport going on next weekend, as well as all the regular classes will run over the weekend. Reminder, the Open is coming. Games.crossfit.com. Go and check out what it's all about. We're dialing you into it. We're dialing you into it here on the podcast, and we're dialing you into it through the classes. Plenty of times during the week to test some of the workouts. We had 18.1 last week. We've got another couple coming up for you so that you can be ready for the 2019 CrossFit Games Open. It's going to be a great time. Don't forget that podcast on Thursday, though, with Johan. It's an absolute belter, 496. I may be back. I may not be back with a weekly update for next week, 497. If I'm still running, it might be a day or two late, but it will be here. It might not be here on Sunday, but it will definitely be here by Monday or Tuesday. That's been it for this weekly update, guys. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Show no weekness. Until next week, enjoy.